Hello and welcome to Toad Rolls Dice, where we're going to take a look at day 9 of our Grotmas Calendar, and it's another cheeky twosome. Silent Nights, Unholy Nights. Yes, that's right, it is, well, the Knights. Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights have come to claim their part of the Christmas feast. How about we jump into this? After an especially pious day in the Grotmas Calendar yesterday, well, it wasn't. If it was a pious day, surely it would have been sisters. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Anyway, we return to one of the true messages of this season. Gigantic armoured machines knocking lumps out of one another in the Iconoclast Fiefdom and the Questor Forge Pact Detachments. See if you can guess who's been naughty and who's been nice, just by the names. We're going to cover these in 2 videos, much like we did yesterday. Because while they are still basically the same models, they are still different. First up is the Iconoclast Fiefdom. When the fallen nobles of Iconoclast houses go to war, they are followed by teeming masses of mutants, cultists and heretic soldiers. These awed mortals offer chanted prayers to those towering beacons of corruption, worshipping them as mechanical idols of the dark gods. Rushing forward around clawed feet, these amassed hordes scream battle cries and sing of their devotion as they hurl themselves at the foe. As the death count escalates, the fallen knights rejoice in the bloodshed, the warp-twisted mechanisms of their thrones mechanicum feeding upon sacrifice of their thralls, and infusing the pilot and steed with ever greater infernal might. Why is it that the Chaos Knights look so much cooler than the Imperial Knights? So much cooler. With the wretched Thrall's rule, you are now able to bring a number of damned units from Codex Chaos Space Marines. The dreaded Masters Detachment rule confers bonuses that allow your cultists and knights to benefit from each other. Each Chaos Knight in the army can make a dark sacrifice when it's selected to shoot or fight, trading the worthless lives of its followers for boons from the gods. I like it, that sounds kinda cool. Worthless Chattel builds on this theme. You may ignore a damned unit in combat when selecting targets for ranged weapons. This stratagem is great at pinning down enemies with cultists, even as mighty knights disdain their very existence. So that's like in Lord of the Rings when enemies can shoot into a fight, but heroes and good forces can't. Okay, it sounds very chaosy. Enhance. So what have we got? The Iconoclast Fiefdom Detachment Rule, Dreaded Masters. Titanic Chaos Knights units from your army have the following abilities. Dread Tyrant's Aura. When a friendly damned unit is within 9 inches of this unit, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. We're seeing a lot of rerolling in these detachments as well. Knights haven't had their codexes yet, I don't think, so I guess it's just giving them something else, but there seems to be a lot of units and a lot of armies now getting that reroll hits and wounds of 1. And Chaos Knights units from your army have the following abilities. Dark Sacrifice. Each time a Chaos Knights unit with this ability is selected to shoot or fight, it can make a Dark Sacrifice. If it does, select one damned unit within 6 inches. That damned unit must take a leadership test. If passed, destroy D3 models in that damned unit. If failed, destroy D3 plus 3 models in that damned unit. In either case, then select one of the following abilities for your Chaos Knights unit's weapons to have until the end of the phase. Lethal hits or sustained hits 1. Okay. So you can just kill off chaff. I like it. And finally, Wretched Thralls. You may include damned units in your army, see Codex Chaos Space Marines. The combined points cost for such units depends on your battle size. Incursion is up to 250 points. It's 25% of your army basically. Strike Force is up to 500 points and Onslaught is up to 750 points. No damned models from your army can be your Warlord, so your Warlord will still have to be a Knight. Makes sense. Enhancements. Profane Altar for 20 points. Chaos Knight model only. Each time the bearer makes a dark sacrifice, the maximum number of models are destroyed in the selected damned unit, i.e. 3 from the unit's leadership test if passed, or 6 if it is failed, but until the end of the phase the bearer's weapons have both lethal hits and sustained hits 1. I think I like that. I think that's really fun. Obviously you're going to burn up your damned units, but nobody really cares, do they? Pave the Way, 15 points. Chaos Knights model only. At the start of the Declare Battle Formation step, you may select up to 3 damned units from your army. The selected units have Scout's 6 inches ability. Okay. I don't see a problem with that. You probably wouldn't take it all the time, but it's still quite nice. The Tyrant's Banner is 5 points. Chaos Knights model only. Each time a bearer makes a dark sacrifice, select 1 visible damned unit to take a leadership test instead of a damned unit within 6 inches. 5 points extends the range, as long as they're visible, extends the range of what you can burn. Again, very shenanigan-y, but probably not always useful. It depends how you deploy your damned units, I suppose. If you scout them up 6 inches, and then you have the banner as well, obviously on 2 different models, you could maybe get a lot of play with just pushing units up to harass and then slowly killing them off. Yeah, situational, but I can see a use for it. And finally, Diabolical Resistance, 35 points. Chaos Knights model only. The bearer has the Feel No Pain 6-up ability, and you can ignore any or all modifiers to its move characteristic and or any advance or charge rolls made for it. I know that you can ignore modifiers to movement, but I feel like 35 points just for a 6-up Feel No Pain is a bit steep. Like, I am no tactical genius, and my 40k 10th knowledge is lacking over the last 6-8 months, so that might be pretty solid. I mean, it's nice anyway, but I think 35 points is a lot. Okay, down now to stratagems. We have 4 strategic ploys, we have 2 battle tactics, 5 of them at 1 CP, 1 battle tactic, which we'll get onto in a second, is 2 CP. First stratagem, Avenge the Masters. When? Any phase. Target 1 Chaos Knight unit from your army that was just destroyed. You can use this stratagem on that unit even though it was just destroyed. Effect, until the end of the battle, the enemy unit that destroyed your unit is marked. Each time a damned model from your army makes an attack targets a marked unit, that attack has the lethal hits ability. Okay. Yeah, I like it. It's not going to work with any knights. You're not making the attacks with knights, it's with the chaff. But still, it could be quite nice. Wretched Masses, this is the 2 CP strat. When any phase, target 1 damned unit, excluding accursed cultists, from your army that was just destroyed. You can use this stratagem on that unit even though it was just destroyed. Effect, add a new unit to your army identical to your destroyed unit in strategic reserves. Add its starting strength and with all of its wounds remaining. Restrictions, you can only use this stratagem once per battle. This stratagem cannot be used to return destroyed character units to attached units. That's really nice. And even at 2 CP, I think that's fair, because you could bring some nasty stuff back, depending on what you take. Yeah, no, that seems solid all around, really. Soul Hunger. When fight phase just after a Chaos Knight unit from your army has fought, target that Chaos Knight unit. If 1 or more models were destroyed as a result of those attacks, your unit regains up to D3 lost wounds. If 1 or more models from battle-shocked units were destroyed as a result of those attacks, your unit regains up to D3 plus 2 lost wounds instead. So battle shock, slap them with that, heal extra. Yeah, I'd like that as well. Unrestrained Rage. When your movement phase just after a Chaos Knights unit from your army advances or falls back, target that unit. Effect, until the end of the turn your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced or fell back. Yeah, nice. Again, I don't see a problem with that. That's quite a nice one. Worthless Chattel. When your shooting phase, target 1 damned unit from your army. Effect, until the end of the phase, enemy units are not considered to be within engagement range of your unit for the purposes of selecting targets of ranged weapon. Until the end of the phase, each time an enemy model loses a wound, while that model's unit is within engagement range of your unit, roll 1d6. On a 4-up, one model from your unit is destroyed after the attacking unit has finished making its attacks. In your shooting phase, you target a damned unit from your army. Until the end of that phase, enemy units are not considered to be within engagement range of your unit for the purposes of selecting targets of ranged weapon. I get that bit. So you pick a damned unit that is just charged, well, it wouldn't have just charged, but that is in combat with an enemy unit. Until the end of the phase, each time an enemy model loses a wound, while that unit is within engagement range of your unit, your damned unit. So what you do, you pop 1 CP, you put it on a damned unit that's in combat with an enemy unit, you shoot at said enemy unit with whatever you want, but every time a model in that enemy unit that is engaged with your damned unit dies, no, every time a model takes a wound, you roll a d6, and on a 4-up, one model from your damned unit is destroyed as well, but that only happens after the attacking unit has finished making its attacks. So theoretically you could burn through loads of attacks, have 2 guys left, and then select another knight to shoot at the same enemy unit that is engaged. It's still the same phase, so the stratagem is still in effect. And even if you kill off that damned unit in the first salvo of fire, you can fire all your other weapons and still have the benefit of being able to do it. And you will just remove whatever models are destroyed, because that decision, that roll is made at the end of that specific shooting phase for that model. Okay, yeah, it's really nice. It's really themey. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but I think that could have been written better. But that's just me. No, I like the idea of the stratagem. And finally, preserve the idols. When your opponent's move phase just after an enemy has ended a normal advance or fallback move, target one Chaos Knight unit from your army that is within 9 inches of the enemy unit. Effect: select one damned unit from your army that is not battle shocked, not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, and is within 6 inches of your unit. That damned unit can make a normal move of up to 6 inches, but it must end its move closer to that enemy unit than when it started the move. A little bit of movement shenanigans, potentially a little bit of blocking going on to keep your knights from being charged, if the distances work and it's used well. Honestly, I think there's quite a lot of fun stuff in here. I don't know anything about Chaos Knights. I don't know win rates. I don't know how they play. I don't know what units they can take. I quite like the idea of being able to take screening units and doing horrible things like killing them with your own fire, or just deciding to kill them to boost the power of your knight through the dark gods. I love all that stuff. This is a fun detachment that I can probably see me playing if I was a Chaos Knights player. But Knights players out there, you will have to let me know what you think, because I don't know. All I can say is it seems fun, it seems themey, and narratively I absolutely love it. Come back later today where we will have our next look at another, this time Imperial Knights detachment, and we'll run through that and see what we think. But so far, Chaos is doing good. Feels weird to say that. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.